On one hand, we want caution, but on the other hand, we need playmakers. Keep pounding. Two big updates today. First, our rookie running back finally scored following 2 ACL tears. Second, a 33-year-old tight end with 6 recent touchdowns is surprisingly rotating snaps. I will name both players shortly. Stick around, comment your city to show how far our fan base reaches, and subscribe for 2,000. Running back Jonathan Brooks scored a 1-yard touchdown during our preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, marking a significant milestone in his recovery from 2 separate ACL tears. After suffering his first knee injury in college in 2023 and a subsequent tear during his 2024 rookie season, the doubt surrounding his future was palpable. Seeing him cross the goal line and perform his signature celebration, pointing toward a tattoo dedicated to his father, felt like a cathartic moment for everyone who watched him struggle through those long months of rehabilitation. And I'll be straight with you, while I am truly excited to see him back on the field, I want to pump the brakes a little bit before we crown him the savior of our backfield. The team has clearly been managing his workload with extreme caution since drafting him 46th overall. But with Chuba Hubbard sidelined by a hamstring injury, the necessity for Brooks to step up is greater than ever. Does this touchdown prove he is ready for the grind of the regular season? Or are we witnessing a scripted snap count designed to protect his long-term health? He is expected to share duties with A.J. Dillon, which feels like a smart move by our front office to stabilize the depth chart while Brooks finds his footing. My main concern remains the structural integrity of those knees when he encounters real contact in the trenches. Can he sustain this intensity without another setback? Or is our reliance on him already becoming a gamble? I have been watching the tape, and his burst looks promising, but until he survives a full workload, I remain cautiously optimistic. What happens when the pads start popping for real in Week 1? And can he really handle the punishment of an NFL defense? How did a rookie back, burdened by the heavy weight of 2 consecutive season-ending knee injuries, manage to find that end zone so convincingly against the Jacksonville Jaguars? The truth is, his journey back from tearing that ligament during his college days in 2023, followed immediately by a second identical setback during his first year in the pros, is nothing short of a medical anomaly. My eyes were glued to his movement during that specific 1-yard score, and while the distance was minimal, the implications are massive for our offensive trajectory. Was that burst, however brief, a genuine indicator that his explosiveness has returned? Or are we just witnessing a well-orchestrated effort by our staff to gradually rebuild his confidence after he was selected 46th overall in last year's draft? It is impossible to overlook the emotional weight of that moment as he pointed to the tribute for his late father, a gesture that reminded me just how much this game means to the kids we bring into this building. While the medical staff has been hyper-vigilant with his snap counts and physical limitations, seeing him survive contact while punching the ball in provides a much-needed shot of adrenaline for our backfield rotation. With the injury report confirming Chuba Hubbard is currently limited by a hamstring strain, the urgency to see if he can handle a significant workload alongside someone like A.J. Dillon has never been higher. Is it possible that our front office already knew his recovery was ahead of schedule? Or is this just a necessary gamble given our current depth chart struggles? I am cautious, but I believe his presence provides the exact spark we need while waiting for the rest of our runners to reach full health before the season officially begins. Shifting gears to our second story, let's talk about the situation with Darren Waller, who arrived on August 17th and is currently rotating snaps with Mitchell Evans, Tommy Tremble, and Jatavion Sanders. I have watched plenty of Panthers football, but seeing a talent like Waller splitting reps rather than securing the clear starter role feels like a missed opportunity. This isn't some minor practice detail. It is a point of contention among fans who know what he brings to the field. Per Mike Kay, there is a push for increased reps for the 33-year-old, and frankly, my own eyes suggest we need to see more of him. Consider his 2025 production with the Dolphins, where he logged 283 yards and 6 touchdowns, a mark that outpaced our combined tight end room last year. The bottom line here is that his 87.6 PFF receiving grade, second only to George Kittle, proves he remains a legitimate weapon. I am excited to see what he can do, but I want to pump the brakes a little bit before we act like he is going to dominate every snap, especially given the acknowledged questions about his blocking ability in the trenches. Can Dave Canales and Dan Morgan really afford to keep him off the field when Bryce Young needs reliable, explosive options in the red zone? Is he being held back to learn the playbook, or is this just a standard depth chart rotation that refuses to acknowledge his unique speed and route variety? I believe that getting him more individual reps is the logical move, yet our coaching staff seems committed to this rotation for now. It is a gamble, and I wonder if the front office is overthinking this rather than simply letting our best playmaker work. Giving more individual reps to Darren Waller seems like a massive no-brainer when you consider the production gap between him and the rest of our tight end room. Think about it this way: when a veteran logs 28 receiving yards and 6 scores in just 9 appearances, while the combined effort of Mitchell Evans, Tommy Tremble, and Jatavian Sanders barely touches those totals, why are we still shuffling them through a rotation? The argument from Preston Palm is clear, suggesting that we should stop the snap-sharing carousel and lean into the unique weapon we signed on August 17th. With an 87.6 receiving grade from PFF in 2025 that only trailed George Kittle, the potential for Bryce Young to have a legitimate red zone target is sitting right there on the roster. However, I recognize the risk here because the team is clearly prioritizing chemistry and blocking, and we know Waller is not exactly a premier mauler at the point of attack in the trenches. If we pull him off the field, do we sacrifice too much of our ground game efficiency just to chase receiving yardage? Mike Kay recently reported that the organization is already trending toward increased reps for the 33-year-old, yet the hesitation remains palpable among the coaching staff. Honestly, my honest take here is that we are overcomplicating a simple upgrade by trying to keep everyone happy on the depth chart. If the goal is to win games under Dave Canales, you play the guys who create the most stress for the secondary. Would you really risk losing an offensive advantage just to keep the rotation fair? Let's stop holding back our best assets and see if he can thrive as the primary target before the regular season grind begins. When you put both of today's stories together, a clear picture emerges regarding the front office commitment to immediate production over long-term rebuilding projects. Connecting these updates reveals a team desperate to maximize the offensive ceiling by betting on high upside talents. Whether that means trusting a young back coming off 2 serious knee injuries, or integrating a veteran playmaker who outperformed our current rotation by every statistical metric. Here's what people are missing. This isn't just about shuffling players on the depth chart. It is a fundamental shift toward prioritizing explosive output alongside Bryce Young. Balancing these roster moves requires faith that our medical staff has the recovery timelines right for Jonathan Brooks, while also managing the ego and snap counts of a veteran like Darren Waller. Does relying on a player who suffered back-to-back ACL tears actually provide a sustainable solution for our ground game? And can our coaching staff realistically integrate a high-level receiver without stalling the development of younger guys like Jatavian Sanders? I want to hear your perspective in the comments below. Do you feel confident that Brooks can handle a full workload by week 1? And should we force Waller into the primary role immediately regardless of blocking concerns? I am genuinely eager to read what you think about these risks. If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. I am still pushing toward our first 2,000 subscribers, and every one of you helps me get there. Keep pounding. I'll see you in the next one. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Carolina Panthers news. Stay locked into this channel for comprehensive coverage as we track every transaction, injury update, and tactical shifts surrounding our team.